Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video we're going to be talking about the hero talent tree for Templar, which is Protection and Retribution Paladin. We're going to be focusing on the Retribution Paladin side of this for this video since that's what I cover. I will read the tank protection stuff as well, just in case you're here as a tank or you play tank as well as an off spec, right, or whatever, or in your when you're not playing rat, whatever. So these are the extra talent layer that's coming in the War Within, the next expansion. And I already have uploaded the other one that Retribution is affected by with Holy, which is Herald of the Sun. Spoiler alert for that video. The Herald of the Sun is going to be focused more on AoE, and this Templar is going to be focused more on single target. I think it's an important way to look at it as we go through these. So we're going to go through all the talents. I'll give my thoughts on all of them and stuff like that. So again, this is Templar. Let's go through starting from the top. Light's Guidance. Protection. Eye of Tyr is replaced with Hammer of Light, and Wake of Ashes is replaced by Hammer of Light if you're Retribution. Hammer of Light. What is Hammer of Light? Hammer down your enemy with the power of the light, dealing holy damage to the target and up to 4 nearby enemies. Additionally, calls down Empyrean hammers from the sky to strike 3 nearby enemies for holy damage. So what is unclear to me, my own perception here, is I use Wake of Ashes and it's replaced by Hammer of Light for 12 seconds. So what is Hammer of Light? Is it an active ability or is it a passive ability? Hammer down your enemy with the power of the light, dealing holy damage to target up to 4 nearby enemies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is. Is it a button I just smash for 12 seconds with no cooldown? Is it a 2-second cooldown? Is it passive? I have no idea. I think the idea of it is, I think the overall aesthetic of it is cool, but just no idea how it works to have like a true opinion on it here. I could guess, other people could guess. It also costs 5 holy power. Oh, Hammer of Light costs 4. Okay, well, I just answered my own question. Costs 5 holy power. So for 12 seconds, you can Hammer of Light, which is a big ability that costs 5 holy power. So you would want to Wake of Ashes up to 5, use Hammer of Light, get up to 5 as quick as possible, use Hammer of Light. I think maybe the goal would be to use 3 Hammer of Lights, would be my guess, within this window. And maybe there's a way to do 4 or something like that with shenanigans or something. But yeah, okay. So now it makes sense. So now you're using as many Hammer of Lights as you can in your 12-second window, would be my assumption. So there, that makes a lot more sense. We'll go left to right here. We have a choice node, Templar's Watch. For protection, Hammer of Light and Eye of Tyr. So anytime we refer to Hammer of Light, we're referring to this 5 holy power ability. Hammer of Light and Eye of Tyr deal 30% increased damage when striking only one enemy. This amount is reduced by 6% for each additional target struck. As I said at the beginning, this is more of a single target focused. For Retribution, it's Hammer of Light and Wake of Ashes, so it's the same thing, except for replace Eye of Tyr with Wake of Ashes. For Whom the Bell Tolls, Divine Toll grants up to 100% increased damage to your next 3 judgments when striking only one enemy. This amount is reduced by 20% for each additional target struck. So this one might actually be the very, very, very pure single target one to do if they're tuned properly. Because it literally has, the other ones, it does less damage to more targets. This one's only if it hits one target. So we're talking like a raid patchwork boss or something. Shake the Heavens. After casting Hammer of Light, you call down an Empyrean Hammer on a nearby target every 2 seconds for 8 seconds. So that's pretty cool. So more of these hammers. There's going to be lots of hammers. That's been a big fantasy for a lot of Rat Paladins. And so you're getting your hammers, guys. Lots of hammers with the Templar. Empyrean Hammer. Speaking of hammers, when Empyrean Hammer critically strikes, 60% of its damage is dealt to nearby enemies. Enemies hit by this effect deal 5% reduced damage to you. So this is a way to have Ret take even less damage, which is good. Obviously, this is for protection too, but kind of even more tankiness for Ret, possibly. Let's go over here to Sacrosanct Crusade. Protection. When you cast Eye of Tyr, gain Shield of Vengeance. And Retribution, when you cast Wick of Ashes, gain Shield of Vengeance at 10% effectiveness. Same, both of them are 10% effectiveness. So an extra passive, an extra defensive, but this defensive does do damage, right? So that is worth noting. Shield of Vengeance when it explodes. And it's when you cast Wick of Ashes. So yeah, I mean that's gonna be nerfed. This is gonna be like 50% effectiveness or something. You're gonna have almost 100% uptime on Shield of Vengeance or something if this is stays the way it is. But it's a cool idea, I suppose. Higher Calling, Protection, Crusader Strike, Hammer of Wrath, and Judgment extend the duration of Shake the Heavens. And for Ret, it's the same thing, except for it's Blade of Justice instead of Judgment. Extend the duration. Bonds of Fellowship, Choice Node. You receive 20% less damage from Blessing of Sacrifice. Very, very good prot talent, to be fair. You gain 4% movement speed. And then the Unrelenting Charger. I hope this stacks with the talent, right? Divine Steed lasts 2 seconds longer and increases your movement speed by additional 30% for the first 3 seconds. This is really cool for just open world. This is really cool if you're farming old content. You know, at the end of the day, the Charger is the Charger. But for certain things, this could be cool because this is a lot of movement if the talents still exist in the talent tree, and you can add them all together. Next row, Endless Wrath. Call down an Empyrean Hammer. Has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown of Hammer of Wrath and make it usable on any target. And Sanctification. Casting Judgment increases the damage of Empyrean Power by 10% for 10 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. So that's just a choice node there. Hammerfall. For Protection. Shield of the Righteous and Word of Glory calls down an Empyrean Hammer. More hammers, more hammers, more hammers. Retribution. Templar Verdict and Divine Storm calls down Empyrean Hammer on a nearby enemy. While Shake the Heavens is active, this effect also calls down an additional hammer. Or hammers. Undisputed Ruling. Hammer of Light applies Judgment to its targets and increases your haste by 15%. And Protection, additionally, Eye of Tyr grants 3 Holy Power. So when you cast that Hammer of Light for 5 Holy Power, applies Judgment and increases your haste. So it gives you more opportunity to get more Hammer of Lights in. Light's Deliverance is the final capstone. You gain a stack of Light's Deliverance when you call down an Empyrean Hammer. So there's lots of hammers, so you're going to get up to 50 stacks here. Casting a Hammer of Light empowers you for 12 seconds to cast Hammer of Light an additional time for free. So 2 Hammer of Lights in a row, which sounds pretty powerful, honestly. So I actually like this setup for Templar here. Overall, I had a few qualms with the Herald of the Sun, and there's some things that are probably wrong with this as well. But I do like the aesthetic of this one, as far as it's the single target one, and then it's very like tanky. It's very raid themed in my opinion, and the other one's very Mythic Plus themed, so it kind of fits. However, of course, there are going to be times when even in raid, you're going to want to have more AoE stuff, and I don't know for sure how much the Herald of the Sun's going to translate, but I do like the direction they're going with Templar as far as raid goes, right? Which is where you're going to use it the most, and that's what I play the most, so I'm going to be a little bit biased there, right? Towards that. Now, you're not going to want to use Templar in a Mythic Plus because it's not doing almost anything for your AoE. So for what it's for, which is going to be raid, or outdoor world, you know, solo content, things like that, right? For that, I actually think it's on a pretty good track so far. I know some people have been pretty down about these hero talents, but overall, I've been pretty positive. You can watch the Herald of the Sun video for my few qualms there, but I don't have too many qualms here. It's a lot of hammers, and I could like make fun of that and stuff like that. But the truth is, a lot of Ret Paladins want the hammer aesthetic. I literally see thousands of people talk about it, right? Like, Ret Paladins want this hammer aesthetic, right? So I'm not going to, who am I to say when I don't really care either way? I'm not going to, you know, go out against it when I don't believe that. So yeah, overall, I'm very positive on Templar. Looks like the single target one. And, you know, let's give positive, not positive feedback, but, you know, reinforced feedback with actual evidence, you know, good feedback, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, make sure that everything works correctly once we can actually play with it, right? Because right now this is just a first look. So that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel because it helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody Have a good one.